3, 2, 1. Part número 3.
When you're working that 9 to 5.
Go.
So I was showing, how do I explain it? It'll kind of go back into what we were just talking about a minute ago, just the whole
You mean
concept.
the previous episode?
The previous episode, I apologize, yes. Is it possible for people to truly get canceled?
No.
Is that something to where you can actually get canceled from what is happening around the
You
world?
can get canceled from the internet? You can get canceled
a
from
platform.
Yes.
So we will
Yes.
touch about it just because, it's just somebody that I've been hearing a lot about. Not that I agree with everything he talks about, but a lot of his shit makes sense.
Yes.
Andrew Tate was one of these people that have gotten so popular. Last month, he was the most Googled man on the planet.
Social media-wise, he got popular.
Social media-wise, because
he has his own business.
he was smart enough to put together a business in order to build money. It's a pyramid scheme, no matter how you put it. But that pyramid scheme, one of the requirements is that they uploaded videos of him talking about shit
on their media.
And even after Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram banned him from everything,
right,
he was still able to get on a platform called Rumble and still communicate with other shit with his other brother.
He didn't even need to, because that's what I mean. With his little pyramid scheme going on thing, I forget, it's called like Hustle something.
Hustle University.
Hustle University. He's had that for years. The boy is a 2-time world kickboxing champ, four-time world champion, okay? He has clout just because he's a world champion. He already had his little business. He has people following him, paying him hundreds of thousands of dollars just to spend time with him.
I showed you the video, right? Yeah, I sent you that video for it. So it breaks down him as a person. There's a lot of guys around the world that are, not a lot, but you got the 5% of individuals that are very self-successful in their own way.
But they're very, what's the word I'm thinking of? Eccentric. There's always some weird quirk about them. Yeah,
they're not average. It's the equivalent of if you not that we're ever probably in our lifetime going to be able to be around these kind of people, but no, meaning like who mentioned it? I hate to keep repeating Rogan. I know it's somebody else. You know the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire based off their personality. When you're around a billionaire, they have this weird antisocial aspect of they only want to talk to people that are like them. Mm-hmm. They're socially awkward because they're not hanging out with lower class people like us. Right. Like you're around that billionaire and they don't act this fucking same. Right. I mean, you have a conversation because we're in the same class. Yeah. A billionaire comes in, they're going to talk about shit that we know nothing about. Right. And the millionaire, it'll be even less, and thousandaire even less, and then modern people like that. So that individual, what is weird to us is normal to him because he's around people that are like that all the time.
Right. And that's what I mean. He's always had money.
Let
me correct that. Since he started kickboxing.
Yes.
He grew up in the slums. His dad was we talked about this in a previous episode. His dad was a grandmaster at chess, not officially certified, but he was a grandmaster. Taught Andrew everything he knew. He taught Andrew how to be strategic. And Andrew Tate said it himself. Like Lynn says, the guy's a fucking whack job, but he says shit that makes sense. And he said it in one of his interviews way back when. He doesn't want to stop moving. Mm-mm. If he stops moving, he dies. Yeah. And yeah, that sounds crazy if you take it at face value. But when you really think about it, isn't that what the fuck we're all doing? We're all waking up every day, going to work, paying bills, running errands, doing all this stuff just to live. If you stop doing that you die.
He mentions it, and there's a clip that I was sharing. There's a clip of Morpheus when he's talking to Neo and they're walking through the Matrix and he's explaining it to how the Matrix is. Yes. And then he comes across a woman in the red dress. Yes. You see Morpheus walking and you just see Andrew Tate on the back of his head as he's walking, and Neo is supposed to be you, and then you see people passing by and you see Instagram and Facebook, and then you see him look at the woman in the red dress and it just pins up Pornhub and a bunch of other stuff. And he looks back at Neo, or he looks back at Morpheus, and Morpheus is like, now, were you looking at me, or were you looking at the lady in the red dress? And he goes, well, yeah, that lady. And he goes, well, look again. And he turns, and it's the agent, but then it says government. Yeah. So it showed that not to be obviously what is the word? A conspiracy theorist. Yes. But we're so accustomed to having social media, be it Pornhub, be it it said Pornhub, video games, and a bunch of other shit. Everything. That was the redhead woman that everybody tries to focus their eyes on. Yeah. That when we finally get in there, the government decides like, all right,
behind it, when you see what's really going on,
it showed the agent pointing the gun at his face, saying, you need to pay attention to what's going on. With how he talks, for like you said, the young boys that aren't accustomed to actually dealing with life shit. it puts in a perspective like, oh, maybe there is something outside of this. Maybe the Matrix is an actual thing.
Well, and it's unfortunately not that logical. And my issue is like we discussed, if me and Lynn were 18, 20 again, just going through our relationships, just getting into the world, just starting work, really seeing how the world really works outside of mom and dad's house. If me and him had come across Andrew Tate, would have been a wrap. We would have followed the cat. We probably would have signed up for his program because we needed that push to.
Sorry, go ahead. That's a good point. And someone made a comment in one of his videos. So people were bitching, saying, don't follow him as a role model. Don't do this, do this. And he goes, I agree. He goes, don't follow me as a role model. Don't listen to what I have to say. Go get your own role model that you feel will align with your goals.
Right.
But let me ask you, where are your role models at? Who's there?
Are they making any money?
Who's there?
Right.
Who's there giving you advice for free?
Right.
And that is the one thing I will agree with him on, is that if people want to bitch about the bad shit he's doing and they want to be like, oh, we'll follow a better role model, give me somebody.
Well, and that's like what I was saying in the previous episode. The fact that he appeals to people is the problem, because if everybody was able to speak freely, and I say that with heavy quotes, freely, then we could argue Andrew Tate in an open forum. And it's like, okay, what you're saying, this is right, this is wrong. And then people could either choose to listen to him or choose not to listen to him. We made him popular. Us as the public made him popular. Other men, other women, people that hate him, people that love him, they made him popular.
Yeah, it's true.
There never was a time where it's like, oh, we don't have Nicki Minaj, we don't have Cardi B, we don't have Megan Thee Stallion.
Trash, man.
All of this shit we see.
You get tired of
these
fucking
are not
being
positive role models. When I hear about what's her name, something baby from Dr. Phil, the Cash Me Outside girl.
Oh yeah.
She turned 18, started her OnlyFans, made almost $4 million or something like that. Almost crashed the site in the first few hours she had just turned 18. Motherfuckers were that thirsty for her. These are the role models that Lynn is saying that we are showing people. And I'm sorry to just mention females, but that's just been the shit that I've seen lately.
It's being forced upon, and that's one of the things.
So what do you expect when you have a Tate come along?
When that one person comes in and challenges all that, they're like, well, you need to get rid of him and ban him and then just focus on these. It's like, you're forcing for me to have to be around.
What if what he's saying is working for me? What if that is helping me get bitches? What if that is helping me get money?
It's my independency as a person to be able to decide if I want to follow that person or not.
Exactly.
But we have that age mindset to where we know, okay, this isn't all 100%. Right. There's a little bit of bullshit in between that I can kind of sift through. But an undeveloped mind, like an 18-year-old, would be very pliable to be able to take that shit in and take it 100% running. So you get what was happening. I think Philly D was saying is that it was Philly D or somebody was saying how you got little boys that are coming in and like kids in like 4th grade are mentally demoralizing little girls saying you should be at home cooking and cleaning and you're fat and
because listening to this dude,
they're listening
verbatim.
To him. Yes. So that's I understand, but that's no different than introducing a fucking a minor to pornography at a very young age.
That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna corrupt them no matter what.
But that's what I mean. Us as the older folks can say that, hey, Andrew Tate is nothing special. We've seen cats like him before.
Right.
We've seen this, so then it doesn't catch people so off guard, and people aren't so on it. But because we have social media, people think like if you were born before 2020, you just were stupid and lived in the Stone Age. So that's what I mean. There's always been that kind of issue with bridging the gap between history and the future. What's going on right now is going to become somebody's past, but we're trying to look forward to the future, but we can't get there because we keep repeating everything that happened yesterday. So it's just crazy, like watching it happen. And like I said, we're the watchers. We're the next generation. We're the ones that are going to take over when mom and pops pass on. We're the ones that are going to have to oversee and hopefully pass on our wisdom to one of these youths, female, male, what have you, and actually give them something to chew on and give them something to digest that's worthwhile to put in their brain outside of listening to Andrew Tate. And hopefully they have a filter to filter out the dumb shit from the from the shit that they.
You're very optimistic to believe that anybody's going to want to listen to anything we have to say. At the end of the day, I've seen it, especially with me working where I work now. There's so many more or less mid to younger people that I'm training to be security officers, and just the way that we were raised were very like, if I see you and I make eye contact with you and I like nod my head at you or say hello, that's a normal day to day for me. And I'm noticing that farther in that I go, even where I live now, people won't even give you fucking eye contact at the end of the day. And you're getting a lot of kids where it's like there was one student today that my boss, she was walking around, and one of the things that we do on the first week of essentials, there's multiple things. It's learning what ERT does with active shooters, how canines know how to sniff out bombs and shit,
right?
How to deal with prostitution and sex trafficking. So one of the ladies that comes in, we get a guest speaker that talks about sex trafficking, and it's a pretty scary thing. Like, it's crazy not to know this. And I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, honestly, but in the world, Nevada is one of the central hubs for sex trafficking. They will pick up girls. Let's say
off the fucking street.
Yes, off the street. Like I say, a girl comes from Utah or comes from Washington or Idaho, and she comes to visit Vegas for the weekend. And a pimp decides to, he snatches this girl up. It's her. She's wide-eyed, and she wants to visit the town and live her best life and think, at the end of the weekend, I'm going to go home. So I'm going to, pimp comes in, spoils her, takes care of her, gets her accustomed to fucking around with guys, and then that weekend trip turns into 2 weekends. To a third, to a month.
Well, he takes all of her stuff. He cuts off her line to get home, takes all of her money. Now he's in possession of it. And now it's almost like she owes him something. And that's what I mean. Like, when I met my first prostitute, she was 13, okay? The first prostitute I ever detained, put in cuffs, called the police, wrote up a report. She was 13 from California. She ran away from her parents' house because her parents were being mean to her. Came out to Vegas, fucked men for money, got paid. And it wasn't until we caught her up, the security, not Metro, not Homeland Security, not none of those people. Men were banging this girl and paying her for it, okay? So I'm going to end it there, but I'm just saying, what we're talking about, the shit's legit.
So it's a big thing, and you've got younger students now where they're in this class, and it's pretty interesting information, and what they're doing is kicking their feet up on the desk, putting their hands behind their back, and just
fucking unacceptable.
Just fucking chilling there.
And
so the guest speaker that came in, she snapped at this kid like, "Hey man, what the fuck? Like, sit up, pay attention, don't nod off." He's like, "Oh well, this shit's boring." And she's like, "This is interesting. This is actual information. You need to know this in security." He's like, "Nah, it doesn't matter to me. I can do this, this, and this." He got pulled out. My boss talked to him saying, "Hey, at the end of the day, if you don't want to fucking do this, you can leave.
You can leave."
And he goes, "It's just a job." He goes, "I'm just gonna cycle through this like we do anything else." And
he's also right.
All of them are like this now.
He's also right.
It's a different mindset to where no matter what fruitful information we want to give to a younger generation, it doesn't mean anything if their minds are already corrupted to not wanting to listen.
But it's not all of them, and that's where we got to turn into the Xavier Institute for Gifted Children.
I feel like I'm trying to catch fucking flies with a fish net. Like, it's going through one.
But you can catch them, and that's the point.
Sometimes
you only need one fly.
Got to catch them all.
Sometimes no, because guess what?
All right, Ash, catch them.
Yeah, you want to catch these nuts?
No,
okay, because they start out small, but they get too big for your hand, and then you can't hold them no more.
So your ass catch them.
All right, I got balls like I'm Ash catching.
All right, I'm done.
All right, so yeah, that's kind of where we're gonna leave it for now. We'll pick up with some stuff later on. As we see the situation develop, because this whole Andrew Tate shenanigans is
those that's
what dear
I wanted to talk about was the damn it,
here we go.
The GTA clips.
Oh god, yes.
Oh my god, if you get the chance to look up just Andrew Tate GTA on YouTube,
it's hilarious.
There's so many fucking videos, and even he reacted to it on like after being banned on social media because he's on Rumble. He said there's a guy who made a Grand Theft Auto character of him, and it's like Andrew Tate catches you watching a 9 to 5.
Yes,
and it just shows him rolling up in the Bugatti. There's some weird like the EDM music playing in the background, and he like runs to the gas station.
You see the dude just run in. No, he's not saying anything.
Nothing. And he runs and just punches you in the face, and then it cuts out. There's so many different clips. Like the guy skydiving, he goes, when Andrew Tate catches you skydiving when you're supposed to be hustling.
Yes, and he just drops in on a chair.
A fucking plane just comes, or a fighter jet crashes on a fucking building, and then Andrew Tate comes running at you and punches you out of the sky.
What makes it funny, GTA, my hat's off to them. They somehow found the funniest fucking animation to punch somebody with.
Yes.
Because literally if that animation wasn't as funny, that meme wouldn't have taken off.
No, they
I've
render
literally put in
really
cheat codes on this game just so I can run around punching the shit out of
the
people.
one punch that could send people
It's a
flying.
great game. If you haven't yet already, I don't know how. Please check out Grand Theft Auto.
Of course.
It's hilarious. You can't miss it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
I'm good.
All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm Z.
This is Lynn.
We're Project Airwaves. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. All of our social media links will be in the description down below. Check out our TikTok and Patreon. We love your attention. We love your money. We love your likes. Project Airwaves. Keep your head in the clouds.
Keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
I'm going to keep talking like this until we stop recording.
We're done.
You did real good.
Bye.
We'll catch you in the next one.
So good.
No, what did you say?
Your pecs better be swole.
Yeah, your pecs better be fucking swole.